Hello everyone, this is Ben with Irritable Gardens. Uh, I want to say Happy New Year. Today is the 8th of January 2021. I want to thank all my fans for watching my videos for 2020. Uh, in my last video, I promised to produce more videos this year, 2021. And this is going to be my first video for the year. And the purpose of this video is to show you the cuttings that I'm rooting in winter. In some of my videos, for those of you who have watched my videos, I spoke that I prefer rooting cuttings in spring and summer. And in fact, I have videos for that. But because it is winter time, I couldn't do without rooting any cutting beds. This time around, I decided to root just a few. Now, what you are seeing ahead of me is a bin where I'm rooting the few cuttings. Now, for beginners who may not have a greenhouse or who may not have a small room to root cuttings, you can start with this. I have a lamp here that produces heat in the bin. Now I put it on top of this box because of the height, because this bin is a high bin. Now what you are seeing here is a plastic bag from my potting soil. It says compost and manure. Here is another one that says topsoil. And the reason why, now you can see I use the tape to pin them together, and I did it around the bin to give it, to withhold or to keep some heat in the bin. Now this is the cover of the bin, and you can see how I use a tape to hold the plastic bags on the cover of the bin all around it, so that it can hold some heat. And then you can see there are holes here where air goes in and air comes out. You can see there are holes where air goes in and air comes out. So let me show you the inside of the bin. So let me take off the cover of the bin. Now this is the inside of the bin. You can see the cuttings that I'm rooting. But let me show you the lamp that I'm using. It has double bulb. I got this from Goodwill thrift store. If you look at it, you can see that is the price I paid. Goodwill thrift store. So I put this here to provide heat, and you can see that most of the cuttings I've rooted. Some are very slow. Now like this one here, I started rooting this 2 days ago. This is Smith. I just got the Smith cutting 2 days ago, and now I'm rooting this one here. So now you can see this one here is taking forever. This is Tamalido. It is taking forever, but I'm happy. You can see now it's rooting. It's been months that I've been rooting these, and they're just bringing out roots. So I'm happy. Here is another thermometer that I'm rooting. You can see. Look at the roots. Look at the roots in there. And let me show you another thermometer. Sorry. Here is another thermometer. Let me look at that. Look at the roots. So these two thermometers started at the same time. And these two here. You can see these two. This one and this one start rooting the same time. But I have another thermometer here that have not started rooting. But I've not given up on this one. Here is one. Let me see. Okay, there's another thermometer here. This is another thermometer that is not rooting yet. But I'm not giving up because I know, because the cutting is still green. The cuttings are not dried. So you can see. Now this one here is my LSU red. LSU red, look at that. My LSU red. I have two LSU red. Look at a new growth right there. Now let me show you my second LSU red. My second LSU red is this one right here. See, this is my second LSU red. Do you know that these two LSU red were just one cutting? They were just one cutting that I cut into two. And both of them are doing well. Now, you can see other cuttings. They're all doing well. Except for this. This one is struggling. This is my Fiorino Gigante. Though it has roots, it has produced leaves before and the leaves fell off. But you can see it has roots. So I'm glad that they're doing well. You know, so this is the way to go. All right. Now, for those who are beginning to root cuttings, all I did in this case was just to get this cutting, put it in this cup with these potting soil. Now this time around, I'm not using the Ziploc bag to root these. I just put it straight in the soil. And just like this one here, I put it straight in the soil and look at it. It's bringing out the roots. Now I want to show you what else I'm doing with this cutting. Now when you have cuttings that are rooting, producing leaves and roots, what you want to do when the leaves start growing, you have to feed them with soluble fertilizer. The reason is because this cutting, they have stored energy in them. You see, this one is about to start rooting. There's no root yet, but you can see the top there. Now when they start producing leaves, after a while, the leaves will use all the stored fertilizer. And if you don't give it soluble fertilizer, it's going to affect the growth. Some may even die for not giving them fertilizer to help them to grow, because these are dormant cutting that are rooting, coming alive, and they will make use of the stored energy they have in those cuttings. And by the time they finish using all the stored energy in the cuttings and you don't give them fertilizer, they may die because they don't have anything to grow on. There's no food because they are in container, not in the ground. So let me show you what else I'm doing here. Now I want you to see this. I'm using this container to store soluble fertilizer, and I have two here. Here is fertilizer spray light. Why do I call it light? Let me show you. This is the plant food that I'm giving them. Now look at the number of the NPK. And then as you can see it, the NPK is 24, 8, 16. 24 for nitrogen, 8 for phosphorus, 16 for potassium. Now, potassium will help the health of the plant, the root. And the nitrogen 24 helps it to grow. Now, this container there, if you want to feed the plant, you have to use 1 tablespoon per 1 gallon. Now here I have fertilizer spray light and fertilizer spray. The difference is this one has a full dose, 1 tablespoon to 1 gallon, while this one is half tablespoon to 1 gallon of water. This one is 1 tablespoon to 1 gallon of water. Why do I have two mixture of soluble fertilizer? Now for these ones with the big leaves, they have more roots. This is my Ponte tracer. This is my Ponte tracer. Look at the container. So it has a lot of roots in it. So now I'm feeding all these ones here. Look at this one here. This one is my Vate. Look at the roots. You see? Look at the roots. So because of that, I give them the full dose of the soluble fertilizer. I give them the 1 tablespoon of fertilizer to 1 gallon of water. But these small ones here, the 2 LSU red, the Tamolitos, I'm giving them this one. Why? Because they are still young, they have few roots, they are still growing, so they do not need fertilizer that is too powerful that might affect the roots and kill the plant. But as they continue to grow, then I will start giving them the full dose, the full capability of the fertilizer. So, but for now, these small ones, I'm only giving them half tablespoon to 1 gallon of water. But for these big ones here, I'm giving them 1 tablespoon to 1 gallon of water. Now, let me show you this here. I'm using this sprayer to kill the gnites. There used to be a lot of gnites here, but I had to go to the store. I went to Kroger store to buy these. It says won't harm plants. Not fully true. If you spray it just in the air, it will not affect the plant. But if you spray directly on the plant, it will affect the plant. Let me show you my Tamalido here. Look at this leaf here. There was a large concentration of the spray on this plant, and it affected it. Look at the other Tamalido here. Here is my other Tamalido. Look at this, see? The spray concentrated on that and burn it off. Now let me show you. I have to be careful here not to mess up these plants, not to break them up. Okay, now this is my I-258 that I'm rooting. It doesn't have much roots. I've not seen any root, but it's growing, which is not good. Because with this, after a while, if it does not have roots, it will die off. So right now, what these leaves are enjoying is the stored energy in the cutting. But after a while, if there is no root to start producing food, this cutting will die. But I hope that before then, it will start producing roots. But this cutting has 2 big leaves before. It was the spray of the insecticide. It was so much on the leaf, on the 2 big leaves, that it fell off. So even though it says it does not harm plant, if you don't spray it directly on the leaves, it won't harm them. But if you spray it just in the open, and that's why I'm free of gnats. I don't have gnats flying around like before. And this is what I do when I want to spray my cuttings. Now let me use this as an example. This is my Tamalido that is not rooting yet, but it's showing some signs. Now this is how I water my cuttings. Now you can see I have this container for water. You see all my cuttings that are not rooted yet, I spray them with water only. I don't spray them with fertilizer. It will be of no use because they don't have roots, they don't have leaves. So for now, I use water. And this is how I spray. You see? This is how I spray. I spray it so that the water can go around. You see, with this quantity of water, it will keep it moist. But even if it's too much, let me show you something here. You can see the hole here. see, the water will drip out, so there won't be no harm. But if there is no hole at the bottom of your cups, then don't spray too much water, because if it's too much, there is no way the water will come out of the cup, and that will kill your cuttings. It will cause it to rot. So for this cutting that has not rooted yet, I do not give it fertilizer. I only give it water until when it roots and they start bringing out leaves. Even this one here, I only give it water because there is no root yet, so I don't give it fertilizer until I see the roots before I will start giving it fertilizer. And it is going to be the light fertilizer, soluble fertilizer, not the full dose, but the half dose. So this is what I'm doing. I have some cuttings here by the window in water. Very soon I'm going to make videos with those cuttings. There are some experiments I'm carrying out. So I want to thank you for watching this video. This is the first video in 2021. There are more videos that will be coming out. What I do is that later on I'm going to turn off this light, you see, because I don't want to leave it 24 hours with light on, you see. But later on I'm going to turn off the light. So for new beginners who don't know how to root cutting to help it to grow, I hope that this will help you. You need a light to help it grow. It needs heat to help it to grow. See, you can see I bought this bean from Lowe's. No, from, yeah, I think from Lowe's. No, I'm sorry, from Home Depot. You can see is a good size. It is deep. It is deep, and the reason why I bought a deeper one, so by the time they keep growing, they will still be in the comfort of the bean with the cover to help it to receive light. So thank you for watching this video. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Please share this video, help somebody, especially new beginners, so they can watch and learn how to root cuttings, what they need to do to help it to grow. It's one thing to root it, it's one thing to keep it growing till spring. This is January. Before I can bring out these cuttings into the sun will be somewhere around March, April. So I need to keep giving them heat to help them to grow. I need to keep giving them soluble fertilizer to help them to grow. So once again, thank you. Please like this video, share this video, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Have a wonderful evening.